And we're down to cordon tonight. Oh, we're getting serious. Uh, Good evening to everybody. Yeah, so we're just going to start off with a few Christmas theme comments tonight and a few light-heartedness. So I just wondered if Dan knew about, did you hear about the recent ski trip that was on?
All right. What's that?
Started off fine, but went downhill.
Oh
That,
no.
that's going to be my
Oh
best
no, I didn't
Christmas
know we
show
were
this
doing
year.
Christmas cracker jokes.
Fantastic. Love it. You must
Okay,
have,
okay. I've got one for you then. I've got one for you, Stevie. How about this? I think I've got a Christmas cracker joke just here. Right. Where where does Santa stay when he's on holiday?
don't
At a
know.
hotel.
That is way worse than mine. Please confirm in the chat box that that's way worse than mine, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, so now we've set the theme and the tone for the night. You can see what's going to happen. We're going to be on for about half an hour as usual, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, depends. If there's anybody left after 15 minutes. Uh,
Anyone left after that joke?
but we're going to recap a bit for this year. Going to kind of look back. And one of the things that I wanted to ask Dan was, what have you, I mean, you've been in this industry a long time, Dan, right? But what have you learned this year that you didn't know last year? What are you more comfortable with this year that you didn't know last year?
Well, I think it's what's been as historically people know, as I've been in the travel industry for decades, and obviously moving over to this fantastic model, this affiliate model where we bring people in, and the sort of royalty systems with that has been amazing, and learning more and more about that has been fantastic. And I don't know if any of you have caught a lot of the newspapers and things like that this December, but a lot of them have been telling the story of Mariah Carey and how her big Christmas hit. I think it was it All I Want for Christmas Is You or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that big one. That has been reported that she makes $3 million a year. That's about 2.4 million pounds a year in royalties. And royalty, I mean, that's just crazy. They reckon she's made about $60 million out of that song since she released it. And her total net worth is about $350 million. That means that a massive part of her net worth could potentially have come from just this one song, this one piece of work she did once that just kept paying off. I mean, and for me, it's been looking and experiencing also how these bonuses work within our business, within our affiliate side of the business, Planet Marketing, and sort of seeing the results of that from sort of everything from people, sort of telling stories of how they've introduced someone to the business and they've received, that person has booked a piece of travel and they've got a 10% commission match because they're a gold builder. So the person that's introduced the person is a gold builder and they've received that 10%, match. And that's really incredible, really, what's possible there. I mean, Stevie, I mean, there's so many different ways we can get passive and residual income, the royalties sort of Planet. I mean, how have you found it this year with that?
To me, it's been amazing. And I think from a personal point of view, it's it's kind of gone to another level for me this year in terms of residual. I've earned residual income since the month I came into the business, because the month that I joined the business, I registered three people because I understood the concept of it. So I've always earned residual income, but for the first probably 2 or 3 years, it was very small. My first residual check was $12, and this year it's kind of got bigger. And also, when Mr. Bradley launched that 10 star, kind of made me look at things and made me understand the residuals a lot more. And you look at further down the line, not just what you do, but if you personally bring somebody into the business and they go 6 stars, right? You're personally going to earn 10 grand a month from that person.
Mm.
That,
And all
you know,
because you gave them that opportunity and supported them
yeah.
in the journey. And
And
you know,
usually you're only supporting them for the first 60 to 90 days
mm,
because after that, people kind of get a grip of it. They kind of know the model. And especially people that are really running with the business, they leave you behind, in terms of what you're doing. And that's what you want. You want people to run with the business. So yeah, that's what I got from the residual side. Uh,
yeah. And I
the,
mean, what's been your big sort of learning points, your takeaways for the year?
so without a shadow of a doubt, it's been education for me. The layers of education that we put into the Planet Marketing business this year have just been mind blowing, and they're free most of the time, right? Yes, we might pay for to attend an event, right? But you're paying for the event. You're not paying for the speaker. And actually, what made me laugh was the last time we had an event in London, the 1,500 seater at the Intercontinental. A lot of people won't know but that week there was a millionaires uh, mentoring session going on in London, and they were charging £2,995
Yeah.
for the event. Right? And
Yeah.
we and
Yeah.
we had Mr. Bradley, Rachel Lowry, JP Watkins, Leah Lockett. Do you know what I mean? We had all these people. And what did we pay? $40, $45?
Yeah. It was about worked out with the conversion, so like 32
Yeah.
quid or something like that.
Yeah. And when we started the year with the IMVs, the UK IMVs, uh, again, that was another game changer for me because I joined them for the first 4 weeks, I reckon, every morning, and really enjoyed them, got a lot out of them, but then kind of went away from them, right? If I'm honest. And it wasn't until I listened to, can't remember who it was, but I listened to one of the American speakers, and what they said was, remember, it's not who's saying it, it's what they're saying that's important. And because I'll be honest, a lot of the speakers that we've got, I don't relate to them. They're young ladies and do you know what I mean? They're Instagram people, is
Oh,
what I
you're a
call.
handsome fella, Stephen. I think you could be, yeah, a
Yeah,
massive,
but it's a whole
Instagram
Instagram thing that
influencer.
struggles with all. But what I'm trying to get at was I didn't appreciate that it wasn't who was saying it, it was what they were saying. And now that I've plugged back into them, and they're free, it's 20 minutes of free training every day. And it's
Mm,
40 minutes if you decide to do the American one as well.
mm.
And you can't get there anyway. So for me, it was about education. I've done a whole lot more education. I've read more books this year than I've read in the past 5 years,
Wow. Wow.
and that's
That's
all down to the
incredible.
IMV.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And the thing with the IMV is it's highly relevant to your business, isn't it? That's the thing. You're hearing it in the context of your business rather than a generalist. There's fantastic independent experts out there, but it's what they're telling you is generalisms or fundamentals. They're not necessarily telling you something really relevant to your business, and that's what I love about the IV.
And then what you've got to
Um,
remember is everybody that's teaching us is doing it from Mr. Bradley all the way through the organisation. They're not people that are standing up there saying the theory of it. That we're learning how to do it from the people that are actually doing it. And for me, that's a big one. That's a big one.
so for those listening that aren't aware of what an IMV is, let me see if I can get it right. Extra, is it so IMV is something like international, is it something like something morning vitamin or something like that? Is that right,
Ins
Stevie?
Inspirational morning vitamin.
Oh, right. There we go. There we go. So,
So
inspirational morning vitamin.
morning
Well,
vitamin, and you've got
and
the US. You've got the US that starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is usually I think it's 1 o'clock our time at the moment. Changes in the timing, and then we have the UK, which takes 6 a.m. our time, and you join it,
mm,
and and remember, if you're on shift and you can't join it, it's in your back office within 24 hours.
that's how I actually digest my vitamins. So, what I do is I have the Planet app, but also I could log on just from my phone anyway, but I have the Planet app
Yeah,
and I just, play back on my drive to Greenwich. I'm listening to them because I've got a 2 hour drive to Greenwich.
yeah,
Well, sometimes 3 hours if the M25 is naughty on a Friday. I'm there every Friday. So that is ideal for me. It makes my car into a mobile university. So,
yeah. And
you know,
that's about using the tools. In fact, there's a great basic training from last week from one of the 4-star directors, and I'm going to forget her name, and I do apologise. But she does a thing me about the app, about turning the app into an ATM. It's a 29-minute training, and honestly, I watched it today. Fantastic,
oh, well, that will
fantastic.
be for the Greenwich Drive tomorrow then. But I
Exactly.
obviously won't be looking at it. I'll be just listening.
Listening
Drive
to it.
safe.
Uh, so Dan, another one for you. Did you hear about the Rudolph's roller coaster ride? He
Oh,
held on for dear life.
oh dear life. Oh dear. I think they're getting worse. Are they
They're
getting
not.
worse, guys?
No,
Put
come
put a,
on.
put a note in the chat.
That was definitely good.
Okay, I've got one for you. I've got one for you.
Go on then.
What sort of holiday do Santa's helpers go on? A wellness retreat. It's good for your elf.
Oh,
It's
what?
it's good for
That
your
is
elf.
bad. That is bad. That's shocking. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Here's one for you, Dan. Highlights of the year.
Hmm. Yeah, highlights of the year. I mean, you start, Stevie. What's been your highlights of the year?
So I've got two highlights for the year. The first one is convention. I tried to get to convention twice, believe it or not, and didn't get there, and managed to get there this time, and it just blew my mind, and I will not miss another convention now.
Ah,
Just the trainings that you get were fantastic, and you go to the ones that you want. That was the great thing about it, and there's so many to choose for. Uh, and then the last day, where the reward and recognition and keynote speaker with just the whole atmosphere of it was just amazing, and the diversity of the people blew my mind, and not just color, shape, and size, but ability. The amount of disability that was catered for at this convention was more than any other event I've ever been to, ever. It was absolutely amazing. I thought it was fantastic. And then getting to meet new people, getting to meet people that I've seen on these webinars and bumping into them and being introduced to them was really good. We went out for dinner one night. I think there was about 40 of us to go for a restaurant, and it was chaos for about an hour and a half. The the poor, uh, the poor staff, but it was brilliant just getting together and having some fun together. And then the other highlight for me was having a director in training break this year. Everybody knows who she is, Regina. I was so proud of her. She's done so much hard work. Uh, yeah, those were my two highlights for this year.
she
What about yours?
absolutely learned smashing. Yeah, getting to that rank, didn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I tell you something, first quarter of this year, she'll be a director.
Oh,
Guarantee
100%.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Guarantee it. So what were your highlights for this year?
Well, it's so many. When I was thinking about this myself, I was thinking, how do we narrow this down? I mean, because there was so much. I think for me there were you know, well, firstly, very quickly, that just recently, a few weeks back, had amazing travel party with one of my team at their place. I think they're on the line, Tanya. So I mean, that was amazing, absolutely stacked full. David DaCosta came down. My sponsor Marwin was there, and it was absolutely amazing to just see crammed full living room full of people, and that's going to reap rewards for them as far as them helping friends find an opportunity and stuff like that, but also just the vibe from that, just it being so busy. She even got engaged on the day as well, same day. So,
Wow.
so she had a great day.
Wow.
Um, oh, there you go, and she did commented there. So yeah, we're going to need a bigger boat, and we're going to need a bigger room next time. We've already been talking about having to go to the hotel opposite. So yeah, so that was amazing. Also, one of my team hitting the 80% travel commission this year as well.
Wow.
So
Fantastic.
for those of you that don't know, with IntelliTravel, when you've done your first £3,500 commission in a rolling 12 months, you jump up to from 70% commission to 80% commission. So where on a like say £1,000 total commission, you used to earn 700, you now earn 800, which is amazing, and that's fantastic. And remember as well, for if you were the person that sponsored that person as a gold builder, you've gone then from earning 70 quid to earning 80 quid. So it's pretty cool. But I was just
Then,
so, yeah, I was so pleased with that. That was a big thing. I think one of my things, I'm going to try and not get emotion here,
right.
and I've got to keep it anonymous. But someone that I have mentored in the business since they joined, um, had some trouble during this year, as far as like sort of was sort of not that they were in employment, and then that employment wasn't paying out, and they were essentially gone through the warnings of essentially losing their house because the mortgage payments. And so I think it was pretty much even on the exact day they were going to lose their house because they hadn't made the mortgage payments. A big travel commission came in, covered it.
Wow.
So this little
Wow.
part-time thing they were doing,
Yeah.
just booking travel for friends, family, people they knew, this little part-time thing saved their house, and now everything
Yeah.
is safe and secure with them. They're just booking so much travel at the moment.
Fantastic.
But I just try and keep myself sort of not a blubbering mess just talking
Yeah.
about that, because we say, oh, you can impact, you can change someone's life, to literally save someone's
Yeah.
house through just offering an opportunity. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on. So, also ITQ, Sorrento, Italy.
Yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know what ITQ is, it's IntelliTravel Quest. Okay, it is the annual conference for IntelliTravel. The Sorrento one in Italy was the one for UK and Ireland, and it was wow. It was, I don't know what they say in Italian, bellissimo. So it was incredible. I was there with the guy that brought me into the business, Marwan. Yeah, we had a great time actually. We ate far too much pizza because we started off the trip in Naples. Naples is essentially the home of pizza. It's where it was invented. Um, and then
Can I just say,
Sorrento,
can I just tell everybody,
yeah.
I'm going to tell everybody they used a knife and fork eating pizza in Italy. Unforgivable.
And you commented on the video about that, or the post, didn't you? And Marwa was like absolutely, broken up that someone was criticizing his eating skills. Because those of you who don't know Marwan, he could be a professional eater. In fact, I want to tour him round the states. I want to be his manager around the states for these eating contests. But but the reason why we're eating it with knives and forks was that the Naples pizza is they use a special type of flour, and it is so thin that if you try to like sort of discut it and do the slices, it doesn't work or very easily. So that's our excuse anyway. But yeah, we had a lot of great food. We were in Naples for a few days beforehand for a pre-tour. I went to tick something off my bucket list, which was Pompeii. Always wanted to go there, and it was amazing. Yeah, I can't even put into words how vast it is. And then when you see like the casts of the people that were caught in it in the eruption of Vesuvius and how they were petrified, um, yeah, it's very, you just got to go, is what I say with that. But then Sorrento itself, Sorrento was just like a sort of hour's trip down the or not even that from Naples. Sorrento, absolutely beautiful, sort of almost like sort of cliff top. Looks over the Bay of Naples. There's Capri in the distance, the island of Capri in the distance. It's absolutely stunning. It is absolutely stunning. And so, what a great venue. That was a 3 day conference. First day was a trade show. So, we got to meet all our sort of suppliers. Then there was 2 days of conferences where we learned so much, how to do this, how to do that. And but also lots of secrets, which I'm not going to put on this because I'm recording. We'll sneak those out. But they'll be all as well announced as we go along. And we had it was in just the most amazing. The main HQ was the Hilton Sorrento Palace, which my goodness was fantastic. The conferencing facilities were fantastic. The hotel was fantastic, and we had 2 nights of meals and parties. Hard work. Hard work, but the big sort of gala black tie dinner type thing that we had on the Saturday night was amazing. I have never felt a floor vibrate, bounce so high because everyone was just up dancing, and that was before the main had been served. It
Yeah.
was it was kind of crazy, but yeah, absolutely extraordinary. A lot of directors, so Planet directors. So you think it's an IntelliTravel thing? It's mainly the big bookers that might go. No, anyone with anyone from the business can go as long as you're in travel accounts active. So you go there, and there was a lot of directors went this year, which, as in the year previously with Malaga, wasn't really something I noticed. So
Uh-huh.
that's great to see that people are really starting to get that these travel commissions really feed all the other bonuses as well, and getting that knowledge and being in that environment, and it's another great chance to get together. I mean, so that was great. And next year, Porto, Portugal. It's going to be September the 26th to the 28th. So September's a busy month.
Yes.
Because I think the beginning of the month is
Sixth to the ninth is the convention in Orlando for Planet, and then
yeah,
the end of the month is Porto.
yeah.
Oh,
So I'm going to be doing my American tour at the beginning of the month and then my European tour at the end of the month. Fantastic.
fantastic.
Because you
Yeah.
don't have to just choose one to go to. You can do both if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's very
but
true.
also, if you find you're more focused as a travel booker on travel or you're ITA only, independent travel agent only, then great, do the ITQ. But if you're, more focused on the planet, which one would you prioritize? Well, Stevie, it's going to be the Orlando, isn't it? The
Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
definitely. And that's where you have priorities within the business. You have these two options, and sometimes you need to prioritize one over the other. If you're fortunate that you don't have to prioritize, you can go to both. September is going to be a great month for you.
yeah.
You can go to both. So yeah, they're fantastic. Before we finish, I've got another one for you. What did the gingerman man put on his bed? A cookie sheet.
Oh,
Oh, come on, I'm liking that one.
that is probably the worst so far. That is the worst so far. Right.
Okay, you give me a better one.
Okay, okay. I've got one for you here. What did the Gen Z say about their Christmas holiday?
So,
It's Slade. It's Slade. Slade. Jen's
oh no, that is definitely
Slade.
that's
Slade. I'm not really down with the kids. I don't know why I attempted that one.
right. Before we finish, Dan, let's talk about a couple of events that are coming up.
Mm.
So, do you want to talk about tomorrow night?
Yes. So tomorrow night is Greenwich. So for those of you that don't know, every Friday from Friday evening we do an event in the Holiday Inn, London, Greenwich. It's the Holiday Inn Express, London, Greenwich. It's right by the O2, and we essentially hire out the room there, and we do training for an hour from 7 to 8. So turn up about half 6, 7 to 8, and then we tell your guests to turn up about half 7, 7:45. For an 8 o'clock start with a business presentation showing them the opportunity. And that goes on for about an hour. And then we have the opportunity for people to ask questions, you to put people in front of the, sort of directors and leaders in the business to sort of edify you, say how great you are, why people should join through you, and also to just them have that experience. And then we generally have a sort of soft goes on for quite often I can leave about midnight because I'm there talking to people, answering
Not
questions.
compulsory, folks.
No,
To stay
you
till
could leave
midnight. I
you
mean,
could leave straight after the presentation if you wanted to. But tomorrow night's going to be great because straight after the presentation, and we've spoken to a few guests, we're going to have a bit of a party. We're going to have a bit of a social, so you can sort of either hang out in the room, sneak a few snacks in if you want, if you but please don't eat them out in the bar area. But yeah, obviously the bar's open there in the Holiday Inn for after. Please don't drink during the meeting. And yeah, we're just gonna have a great time. It'll be our sort of end of year session, and then we will pick up the Greenwich meetings again in I think it's 3rd of January.
yeah,
So it's the first Friday in January.
fantastic,
So yeah, and that will be running every Friday for the year. Um,
fantastic, and it's becoming one of the most popular and biggest events for the London
Absolutely.
market. And I know for a fact from my team, we've got people that are absolutely utilising that. We've got a young lady in our team who has had somebody at that event for the last 4 weeks, and every event she's signed somebody at that event.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
phenomenal results coming out of Greenwich. And then
Yeah,
moving
and it's
on to,
free. It's free. Did we say it's free to business partners and
yeah,
guests?
yeah, just need to, as a business partner, you just need to register. The guests don't have to register, but as a business partner, you do. So phenomenal event there. And then we're going to bounce into January big style. The biggest event in Planet Marketing outside of convention in Atlanta. 3,000 people, the O2 Intercontinental. There are tickets still in the back office. They won't be around for long, folks. If you have a team or if you've not got your ticket yet, please come and get a ticket. Come and meet us at the event. I'm coming down on the Friday beforehand from Glasgow. I'm going to come to the Friday night event. I'm not staying up till midnight, Dan. And then and then we're going to bounce. We're going to bounce into the O2 Intercontinental. 3,000 people. Mr. Bradley is going to be on the stage. Mr. Ferrara is going to be on the stage, so expect some news to come out of this event. Expect this year to start with some news, ladies and gentlemen. We're super excited. Uh, and yeah, that's us. Steve and Dan, show will be back next year. We're going to try and do it every month on a Thursday. We like to do a wee half hour. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been a bit of fun for you. Maybe picked up a wee bit of knowledge as well. So yeah, from me, Merry Christmas, folks. Please be safe, and let's bounce into 2025, this 90-day program that we're going to be running with.
That's great. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for jumping on. It's been fantastic, apart from Stevie's jokes. And and as
Absolutely.
we always end these, it's goodbye from me.
And it's good night from him. Goodbye.
Bye.